Looks like I'm supposed to put my scorecard in here when I'm done.
I'll never forget the night it all began, that dark, stormy, fateful night when I decided the time had come to rid the world of the creature. But it would take money to do that, and to get money, I needed to confront my arch enemy, Nick, who had recently become able to transform himself fittingly into a giant warthog. When his forest hideaway came into view, I dismounted and approached the door on foot so I could take him by surprise. My fear that he would hear me proved groundless, for a terrible storm began to rage, washing away the sound of my footsteps. I peered through the rain-streaked window beside his front door and could see him sitting in front of the fire. He had returned to human form, but the malicious smile on his face suggested that he was recalling his recent porcine exploits. Seeing that the door was unlocked, I hurled it open and marched across the room toward him. "Step away from that bottle of warthog potion," I commanded, "and give me the 20 gold coins you stole from my poor servant." "I'm not going to give you a thing, save, perhaps, a taste of my..."
Flute, 7.025 megahertz. Puck! That's who Josiah played in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Hello? Can anyone hear me? Speak to me. Hello?
This is Flute, but you sure don't sound like Puck, so explain yourself.
My name's Nancy Drew.
So where's Puck?
Well, I'm pretty sure Puck's real name was Josiah Crowley, and I hate to say it, but he passed away earlier this year.
Ah, that's a shame. Heck, I never got to give him his sentence.
What sentence is that?
Well, see, a while back, Puck dictated a sentence to me and told me that if and when he recited a certain passage from Shakespeare, I was to respond with that sentence. Weird fellow, that Puck.
If I tell you the passage, will you tell me the sentence?
Well, yeah, sure, I guess. Especially seeing as Puck's no longer with us.
Shall we their fond pageant see? Lord, what fools these mortals be!
That's it. Here, let me check my logbook for the response. Now I'm supposed to say, leave by road when the owner is in, because then there will be thieves about.
Leave by road when the owner is in, because then there will be thieves about?
Those were Puck's exact words.
Is Flute your real name?
No, it's just what Puck insisted on calling me. What'd you say his real name was?
Josiah Crowley.
Strange. I never heard of him.
Why is that strange?
He led me to believe he was this big cheese out in Hollywood, you know, some famous producer, director or something. Said he owned his own studio.
He didn't own a studio, and he certainly didn't live in Hollywood.
I'll be darned. So he was just lying to me. Well, that's all right. I may have told him a fib or three over the years myself. Like the time I told him I was a scratch golfer. I don't even know what that means. In any case, hope I've been of some help. Over and out.
Pyramus, 7.057 megahertz. Thisbe, 7.050 megahertz. It looks like some kind of record of the people Josiah talked to on his ham radio. Is anyone out there? Hello? Can anyone hear me?
I'm Thisbe, but only Puck calls me that. Who's this?
My name's Nancy Drew. I'm afraid I have some bad news about Puck.
Oh, dear. They closed the play he was starring in, didn't they? That's why I haven't heard from him. He's too far down in the dumps. Oh, I was afraid it was something like that.
Actually, you haven't heard from him because he passed away several months ago.
Oh, my. That's worse, isn't it? And after all that rigmarole he went through, making sure I knew my line and understood my cue?
Your cue?
Yes, you see, Puck, or whatever his real name is, or was, Puck wanted to share his love of acting with me. So he gave me a line to say, a very curious line, I might add, and told me to repeat it only after I heard my cue. A passage written by Mr. William Shakespeare.
So if I cue you with a passage, you'll respond with the line he gave you to say?
Immediately. I know it by heart, you see.
Here goes. If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here while these visions did appear.
The authorities are alert for bad water, so do not go this way.
The authorities are alert for bad water, so do not go this way.
That's what I was to say, although my delivery was much better when Puck was coaching me. And now, as Puck was fond of saying, I bid you adieu. Over and out.
Is anyone out there? Hello? Can anyone hear me?
This is Pyramus. Who are you?
My name's Nancy Drew. Does somebody named Puck usually call you on this frequency?
Somebody named Puck used to. Apparently he found something better to do. Haven't talked to him in months.
Well, that's because he passed away not too long ago.
Oh, well, that's a good excuse, I guess. How'd you know he called me Pyramus?
I'm a friend of his. I found your name and radio frequency in his journal.
So why are you talking to me?
Did Puck, ever ask you to tell him something whenever he read a certain passage from Shakespeare?
Whenever he rattled off this Shakespeare quote, I was supposed to rattle off this stupid saying he gave me. How did you know about that?
Long story. But if I were to rattle off the quote, there's no reason why you can't tell me the stupid saying, right?
Well, come to think of it, he never said the quote had to come from him, so, yeah, I guess I could tell you.
Thou speakest aright. I am that merry wanderer of the night.
How'd you know?
Long story. What did he tell you to say in response?
Wait a minute, I had to write it down. Here, you're gonna love this. A barking dog would do well to hold his tongue in a dangerous neighborhood.
A barking dog would do well to hold his tongue in a dangerous neighborhood.
I told you it was stupid.
I really appreciate your help.
Just out of curiosity, what kind of car did Puck drive, do you know?
I don't think he had a car.
And he tried to tell me he was rich. Over and out.
A golf ball, no doubt meant to be used on that golf course of Josiah's. Another safe deposit box key? Looks like I'm supposed to put my scorecard in here when I'm done.
Emily, please, just settle down. It's all right. It's not all right. Stop lying. Something's wrong with me.
You've got to go talk to Emily. She's in a bad way.
What do you mean? What's happened?
Please, go talk to her. She won't listen to me. I'm no help at all.
Just go back to River Heights, Nancy.
Why? What's the matter?
I took a nap after I got back from running errands, and when I woke up, this was in my hand. It's one of the necklaces that I thought had been stolen. I have no idea how it got there. I must do things and not remember. All this responsibility on top of losing Mom. I can't cope with it. I'm having what Jane call it, a nervous breakdown.
Emily, just listen to me.
I don't want to talk anymore. Go home. You're just making things worse. I don't want to talk to you.
Did you talk to her? Do you see what I mean? No wonder I never saw or heard anything. It was all in her mind.
I'm not so sure, Miss Willoughby. What's more, I think I found something that'll solve all her problems. I'll talk to you later. Guess I better not leave the lights on.
I'm glad you stopped by. I need to clear the air about something. I lied before, not just when I said the bank was doing fine when it's really not, but when I said that wasn't my car you saw parked outside the inn today. I parked it there because I didn't want anyone to know that I was at Richard Topham's, begging him for money. This bank is in truly dire financial straits, and if anyone finds out...
Mr. Archer, I already knew you were at Richard Topham's today. I saw your name in his calendar.
Oh, so what can I do for you?
I found another safe deposit box key that belonged to Josiah.
Impossible. Josiah only had one box, and you've already opened it.
Can you tell me whose key this is?
It is one of ours. Where did you get it?
I won it playing golf at Josiah's with a special ball. I had to ace one of the holes.
Why does that sound familiar? I know why. That's what Clara always called me, her ace in the hole.
That's who this key belongs to, Clara Pickford.
So, Clara Pickford was really Josiah Crowley in disguise.
Apparently, he loved playing tricks like that on people and hiding things right under their noses. Wonder what this is. Gloria Dowd, now Crandall, and Jane Willoughby, circa 1912.
Jane Willoughby? That doesn't look the least bit like Jane Willoughby.
No, it certainly doesn't. I'd better get back to the Lilac Inn and have a talk with her right now.
Move out of the way, would you please? I'm kind of in a hurry.
You're not going anywhere until you tell me who you really are.
What are you talking about?
I just saw a picture of Jane Willoughby, the real Jane Willoughby.
It's been swell knowing you, sister.
I can't let Jane out of my sight. I can't let Jane out of my sight. I can't let Jane out of my sight. She's heading for the state line. I know. I'll take a shortcut and head her off. I can't let Jane out of my sight. I can't let Jane out of my sight. I can't let Jane out of my sight. She's heading for the state line. I know. I'll take a shortcut and head her off.
Why couldn't you just mind your own business?
Dear Ned, I know you'll be home from school in a couple of days, but I couldn't wait to tell you. I just solved a mystery. I figured out that Emily Crandall's guardian was really an imposter named Marion, who intercepted the letter Emily wrote to Jane Willoughby after her mom died. She pretended to be Jane not only so she could steal Emily's valuables, but so she could convince Emily that she was incapable of running Lilac Inn, and that she should sell it and split the money with her. On top of all that, I found Josiah Crowley's real will. In it, he left Emily so much money that she'll be able to hire all the people she needs to keep the inn going. He left Jim Archer a ton of money, too, which means he won't have to close his bank. And from now on, he'll be able to buy his wife a new dress anytime he wants. As for Richard Topham, Josiah left him nothing, although Topham still refuses to admit that he forged the first will and insists that he's going to contest the will I found. Dad says it's highly doubtful he'll succeed, and that he'd be better off sticking to spoon tricks. Anyway, when you get home, I'll give you all the details over a nice big piece of slightly damaged cherry pie. Wait till you hear that part of the story. As always, Nancy. Great news, I think. See, Frank and Joe Hardy have invited me to help them solve a mystery. Only this mystery takes place on a train. But not just any train. A train that was found abandoned years ago in the middle of nowhere. All of its passengers had simply vanished. Some people say the train is jinxed. Others say it's haunted. I mean, it'll be fun to finally get to work alongside the Hardy boys, but I just hope the trip we're going on doesn't turn out to be, you know, one way.